In the next section, I would like to talk about data formats. In data mining, we're going to be talking a lot about observations and features. So just to give you a quick definition, an observation is a record associated with an individual entity. It's usually found in a single row, and a feature is a column containing information associated with each entity. So just to reiterate, features need to be informative since they perform a crucial step for effective algorithms in not only regression, but classification and pattern recognition. Now, mainly we're going to be working with multiple data formats, especially when we're consuming data with observations and features. And the most common ones are CSVs, JSON, XML, TSV, XLS, XLSX, TXT, many that are out there, right? But in this course, I'm going to be focusing on CSV files, sometimes JSON and XML files. Now, to start, CSV files, you've worked with them in the past, especially in this class. CSV stands for comma separated value format, and it's a plain text format where the data is laid out with one observation per row and features separated by a delimiter. So as you can see here, these are my observations every row. And then of course my features are separated by a delimiter. And in this case, the delimiter is a comma. But it could be a tab when it comes to the delimiter. So that's where the TSV, tab separated value, comes into play. Sometimes there are semicolons, spaces, you name it. Data comes in all shapes and sizes and formats. So again, this is very common, as you can see here, as far as the cell that I'm highlighting right now: year, make, model, description, price. So if you focus on the first row, that is where you find your headers. So as a quick example, if I wanted to load the text that you see in the following cell, which contains comma separated values, and assign them to a data frame, then we can accomplish that by doing the following. First, we need to import pandas as PD. We also need the pandas.io API to return a pandas object. Then we need to create a text variable. And last part, load it into a data frame. So as a default, when you read CSV files, it is assumed that it's going to be comma separated values. All right, do a quick check. And let's run. Wonderful. Here we go. Simple and easy. Now, the next data format that I'd like to talk about is JSON. JSON, or JavaScript Object Notation, it's a open format, and it's a data interchange language based on objects. It's a very common data format with a diverse range of applications. The values can be numbers, strings, booleans, or other array of objects. So as you can see here, we have some data formatted describing a person in JSON, with the first name is John, last name Smith, is alive, age, and address, with his phone number, and children and spouse, where these values are null, with basic data types such as number, string, boolean, array, object. Very readable and easy to understand. Now the last part I want to talk about, the XML, which is the Extensible Markup Language, whereby it has a format that is both human readable and machine readable, with elements surrounded by tags. Now the tags are typically user defined with a tag type. So for example, in this case, you have name, and then you have the content surrounded by tags, in this case, Belgian waffles. And then of course you have a / and then that same tag name to close it. Same thing with price, same thing with description, same thing with calories. Now, this example was from W3 Schools, so I'll go ahead and paste the link for you if you want to take a look at it on your browser. But for the most part, as you can see here, breakfast menu, and then you have the food items here. You have Belgian waffles, strawberry Belgian waffles, berry Belgian waffles, French toast, and home style breakfast. And then of course, because we open with a breakfast menu tag, we close the breakfast menu tag. Common, easy, and very human readable. This ends the section on data formats.